Welcome back to OldCoin Secrets, where every coin tells a story. And some stories are so mysterious, they almost sound like legends. Today's coin isn't just rare, it's one of the most controversial coins in U.S. history. Imagine owning a penny that's not made of copper, but aluminum. A coin that was struck by the U.S. Mint, distributed by mistake, hunted down by the government, and now worth millions if it ever surfaces. This is the incredible story of the 1974 aluminum Lincoln cent, the coin the government doesn't want you to own. The story begins. The year was 1974. America was facing a growing economic problem. Copper prices were skyrocketing. It was becoming more expensive to make a penny than the penny itself was worth. To solve the crisis, the U.S. Mint decided to experiment with cheaper metals. Their solution? Aluminum. Lightweight, shiny, and inexpensive. That year, the Mint struck 1.5 million experimental aluminum pennies as test coins. All dated 1974, these weren't meant for circulation. They were trial coins created to test how aluminum would perform in vending machines and daily use. But here's where things got interesting and dangerous for collectors: the distribution and the mistake. In early 1974, a small number of these aluminum cents were handed out to members of Congress and Treasury officials as samples. The Mint wanted feedback before making them official currency. But soon after, they realized the mistake. Distributing unapproved coins was a violation of Mint policy. The government quickly ordered all the aluminum cents to be returned and destroyed. Almost all of them were melted down. Almost. Because a few never came back. Some congressmen accidentally kept them in their pockets or collections, and a few quietly disappeared into the world. The surviving coins. To this day, only a handful of authentic 1974 aluminum Lincoln cents are known to exist, possibly 12 to 15 examples. One of the most famous belonged to a U.S. Capitol police officer, who claimed to have received it from a congressman in 1974. When his family later tried to auction the coin in 2014, the U.S. government intervened, demanding its return, claiming it was never officially released to the public. The legal battle that followed made headlines. The government argued the coin was stolen property, while the family insisted it was a legitimate gift. In the end, the case was dropped, but the coin was never sold. It vanished into federal custody, or so the rumors say. Design and composition. Even though it looks almost identical to a regular penny, the 1974 aluminum cent is drastically different. Composition: 95% aluminum, 5% trace metals. Weight: only 0.93 grams, less than 1/3 the weight of a copper cent. Color: silvery gray, resembling a dime more than a penny. Obverse: Abraham Lincoln's portrait, with the date 1974 and "In God We Trust." Reverse: the Lincoln Memorial with United States of America and 1 cent. Because aluminum doesn't tarnish or corrode easily, most known examples still appear bright and shiny, as if they were struck yesterday. Why it was never released. The Mint ultimately decided against switching to aluminum for several reasons. 1. Medical concerns. Doctors warned that aluminum coins could cause issues if swallowed. They wouldn't show up on x-rays. Vending machine problems. Aluminum's lightweight caused jammed coin mechanisms. Public backlash. The vending industry, coin-op laundries, and copper suppliers all lobbied against the change, so the plan was scrapped. The Mint ordered all remaining test coins destroyed. But as history shows, not everything that's ordered gets done. Market value and auction drama. Here's where collectors get excited. The value of a genuine 1974 aluminum Lincoln cent is off the charts. Since they're considered unauthorized coins, the Mint has never legally sold one, but a few have surfaced in private hands and caused massive buzz in the numismatic community. Estimated market value. Circulated condition: $100,000, $250,000. Uncirculated, mint state: $500,000, $1,000 plus. Potential auction record, if allowed, $2 million. The 2014 example that the government seized was expected to bring $250,000 to $2 million at auction, had it been allowed to sell. Because of its rarity, controversy, and mystery, the 1974 aluminum cent is often called the coin you can't own but every collector dreams of. Collector tips: if you ever stumble upon a silvery penny dated 974, be careful before celebrating. Many counterfeit aluminum cents have appeared on eBay and other markets. Here's how to spot a real one. Authentic coins weigh exactly 0.93 grams. They have a soft matte shine, not chrome-like. The edges are smooth and the details are sharp. Always verify with a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC before making any claims. Owning one might not be legal, but verifying one can make you famous overnight. Why it matters. The 1974 aluminum cent isn't just an experimental coin. It's a symbol of what could have been, a glimpse into a different path of U.S. coinage. It's part science experiment, part political mistake, and part treasure hunt. Collectors don't just chase this coin for its rarity. They chase it for the story. Because few coins represent both American innovation and American bureaucracy as perfectly as this one, and that's the story of the 1974 aluminum Lincoln cent, the mysterious penny made of metal, myth, and money. Coin number 2, 2000p, Sacagawea Dollar to Washington. Quarter Mule, the coin that shouldn't exist. Now imagine this, a coin that shows George Washington's head on one side, and a flying eagle with Sacagawea's name on the other. A coin that looks like a dollar, feels like a dollar, but was never supposed to exist. This isn't a mint error you can easily miss. This is a mule coin. And it's so rare that only a few lucky people have ever held one. Today we're diving deep into the legendary 2000p, Sacagawea Dollar to Washington. Quarter Mule, the $1 coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. What is a mule coin? Before we explore this mysterious coin, let's understand what a mule is in coin terms. A mule is when two mismatched dies, front and back designs, are accidentally struck together. For example, imagine if the front of a dime was paired with the back of a nickel. That's a mule. It's an extremely rare type of mint error, because it only happens when dies from two different coins are mistakenly combined in the press. In this case, the U.S. Mint accidentally paired the obverse to front die of a Washington quarter with the reverse back die of a Sacagawea dollar. The result? A golden-colored coin with George Washington's portrait on one side and the Sacagawea eagle reverse on the other. A true one-of-a-kind hybrid. How the mistake happened. The year was 2000. The U.S. Mint had just launched the brand-new Sacagawea Golden Dollar, meant to replace the old Susan B. Anthony dollar. At the same time, millions of state quarters were also being produced. In the chaotic environment of the Philadelphia Mint, somehow a Washington quarter obverse die ended up being installed in a Sacagawea dollar press. Both dies had the same diameter, so the press didn't reject them. And when the press struck the blanks, the Mint accidentally created a hybrid coin never meant for the public eye. What makes this even crazier? The Mint didn't realize the mistake, and a few of these coins actually escaped into circulation. The first discovery. The first known mule coin surfaced in May 2000, when a collector from Arkansas noticed something strange in a roll of new Sacagawea dollars. Instead of Sacagawea's face, the coin showed George Washington's head, but on a golden planche, not the usual silver one. He immediately knew this was something special. Soon the coin was authenticated by Annax, a top grading company, and the numismatic world exploded. News spread like wildfire. The U.S. Mint had accidentally released a mule coin. Collectors couldn't believe it. Was it a hoax? A test strike? A genuine mint blunder? But when more examples appeared, all bearing the same 2000p mint mark, the truth became undeniable. The 2000p Sacagawea Dollar Washington Quarter Mule was 100% real. The value skyrockets. At first, experts thought the coin might fetch a few $1,000s. But when the first few went up for auction, bids skyrocketed. In 2000, the first public sale brought $29,900. By 2003, another example sold for nearly $75,000, and as awareness grew, the market went wild. Today, depending on condition and strike quality, this coin is worth $75,000 to $250,000, and the best preserved examples could fetch $300,000 plus. To put that in perspective, that's one of the highest prices ever for a modern U.S. error coin. Design details. Let's break down what this extraordinary coin looks like. Obverse, front, features George Washington's portrait with United States of America, Liberty, and the P mint mark. This side was meant for a quarter. Reverse back shows the soaring eagle designed for the Sacagawea Dollar. along with the inscriptions $1 and E pluribus unum. Color and metal, struck on a golden manganese brass planche, typical of Sacagawea dollars, not the copper-nickel planche used for quarters. The result? A coin that visually doesn't make sense. Washington silver coin face glowing in gold. Collectors describe it as beautiful chaos. How many exist? The U.S. Mint has never officially revealed how many of these coins were struck, or how they escaped. But so far, about 19 confirmed examples have surfaced, all from the Philadelphia Mint. Each one has subtle differences in die rotation and strike strength, suggesting that multiple presses may have been involved in the error. It's likely that the Mule coins were struck on test presses and then accidentally mixed into standard bags of Sacagawea dollars. They went unnoticed until collectors began opening rolls from banks. So yes, somewhere at some point, someone spent one of the rarest coins in U.S. history for a soda. Legal and authentication notes. Unlike some experimental coins, like the 1974 aluminum cent, the 2000p Mule dollar is completely legal to own. It's considered a mint error, not a test strike. However, because it's so heavily counterfeited, only coins authenticated by PCGS, NGC, or ANAX are accepted as genuine. Here's what to check if you ever think you've found one. The coin should be gold in color. The obverse must be the Washington quarter design. The reverse must be the Sacagawea eagle. The edge should be smooth, no reading like a quarter. Weight, around 8.1 grams. If it matches all these, you could be holding a six-figure treasure. Mystery and theories. There are still debates about how this mule happened. Some insiders believe it was a simple die mix-up. Others whisper it may have been intentional, as part of secret mint experiments. No one knows for sure. Even the mint itself has never given a full explanation. But the fact remains, these coins were struck, released and found by ordinary people. It's a reminder that sometimes history slips through the cracks. Symbolism, why collectors love it. For coin enthusiasts, the 2000p Mule represents everything thrilling about collecting. A modern mystery born in plain sight, a flawless accident that defied the mint's precision, and a golden symbol of chance, proving even machines make history. It's more than metal. It's the story of human error meeting destiny. Real market sales. Let's look at a few actual auction results. 2000p Mule, ANAX MS66, sold for $141,000, Heritage Auctions. PCGS MS67 example, reportedly traded privately for over $250,000, a lightly circulated piece, still fetched $75,000. So if you ever see a gold-colored coin with Washington's face, don't spend it. You might be holding a coin worth more than a luxury car. And that's the unbelievable story of the 2000p. Sacagawea Dollar, Washington Quarter Mule. The golden coin that should never have existed. From a minting mistake to a six-figure masterpiece, this is proof that even the smallest errors can turn into the biggest treasures. Coin number 3, 2007. Missing edge lettering dollar. The modern mistake worth thousands. Now imagine this. A shiny, modern dollar coin that looks completely normal. Until you look closer. You turn it on its side, expecting to see the usual edge lettering. Those tiny words engraved around the coin. But there's nothing. Smooth, blank, silent. That simple minting mistake transformed this ordinary 2007 presidential dollar into a collector's dream. A coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Today we'll uncover the story of the 2007 missing edge lettering dollar. One of the most fascinating modern mint errors in U.S. coin history, the presidential dollar program. Before we dive into the error, let's step back to understand where this coin came from. In 2007, the U.S. Mint launched the presidential $1 coin program, a bold initiative to honor every U.S. president on a golden-colored coin. Each coin would feature the president's portrait on the front, the Statue of Liberty on the reverse, and, for the first time in modern history, edge lettering instead of inscriptions on the faces. That edge lettering included the year, mint mark, and the powerful national mottos, E pluribus unum and In God We Trust. It was a modern, stylish design, meant to make the coin stand out. But that's also where one of the biggest minting blunders in modern U.S. history began. The minting process. Here's how it worked. First, blank metal discs, called planches, were struck with the front obverse and back reverse designs. After striking, those coins were sent through a separate machine that stamped the lettering onto their edges. This was a brand new process for the mint, and everything had to line up perfectly. But in early 2007, something went wrong. Some coins skipped the edge lettering machine entirely. They came out of the mint smooth-edged completely, missing all the inscriptions that made the coin official. And thus the missing edge lettering error was born. The first discovery. The first reports came from Florida and Pennsylvania in early 2007, just days after the release of the George Washington presidential dollar. Collectors opening fresh rolls noticed something strange. Their new coins were missing the edge inscriptions. At first, some thought it was fake. Others thought it might be a new design. But when hundreds of examples began turning up in sealed mint rolls, it became clear. The U.S. Mint had accidentally released a major modern error coin into circulation. The media exploded, calling it the godless dollar, since the phrase "in God we trust" was missing. Public reaction and collectors' frenzy. News of the godless dollar spread nationwide. TV networks, newspapers, and online forums all picked up the story. People rushed to banks to grab rolls of presidential dollars, hoping to find one of these rare mint errors. Coin dealers started offering huge sums, $100, $200, even $500 per coin for the smooth edge versions. In just weeks, the coins became a cultural phenomenon. Everyone wanted to know how such a mistake could happen in the 21st century. The U.S. Mint later admitted that some coins missed the edge lettering station due to a production oversight during high-speed minting. But by then, thousands of godless dollars were already in the hands of collectors. Current value and rarity. So how much are they worth today? That depends on which president is featured and how clean the coin's surfaces are. Let's break it down. Coin type. Approximate value. 27p George Washington missing edge. 150, $1,500. 2007 D John Adams missing edge. 100, 900. 27p Thomas Jefferson missing edge. 125, $1,000. 2007p James Madison missing edge. 100, 700. Uncirculated examples certified by PCGS or NGC in top condition can sell for even more, up to $2,000 in auctions. What makes these coins so valuable is that they're part of the first year of the presidential dollar program, when the mint was still perfecting its new process. Design features. Let's look closely at the design of a 2007 presidential dollar. Obverse, front. Features a lifelike portrait of a U.S. president, George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, or James Madison, along with the years they served. Reverse back. Shows the Statue of Liberty, with the inscriptions United States of America and one. Edge normally should include E pluribus unum, in God we trust, and the year 2007. But in the error coins, that entire edge text is missing, leaving a perfectly smooth rim. That blank edge is what turns this otherwise common coin into a collector's gem. Mint's response. After public backlash and collector excitement, the Mint acknowledged the error and took steps to prevent it. They began running stricter inspections, improving machine calibration, and even rearranging production sequences. They also moved "In God We Trust" to the coin's obverse in 2009, ending the godless dollar controversy for good. But ironically, that only made the 2007 missing edge versions even more desirable to collectors. They became symbols of a short-lived, fascinating experiment in modern minting. Fun fact, double-edge lettering. Not all errors were missing lettering. Some coins were fed through the edge lettering machine twice, creating double-edge lettering coins. That means the inscriptions appear twice around the rim, sometimes overlapping or upside down. Those coins, too, became collector favorites, proving that even new coins can have wild minting stories. How to check your coins. If you still have presidential dollars at home, here's what to do. Look at the edge carefully under bright light. Check for the inscriptions. If they're missing, smooth, or doubled, you might have an error coin. Use a magnifier to confirm the details. If you think you found one, don't clean it. Send it to PCGS, NGC, or Annex for grading. Even a single smooth edge coin in uncirculated condition could bring you a few $100 today. Symbolism, why collectors love it. The 2007 missing edge lettering dollar isn't just valuable, it tells a story. It marks the moment when America tried to modernize its coinage and learned that even advanced technology can make human mistakes. Collectors love it because it's modern history you can hold in your hand. A reminder that no system is perfect, not even the U.S. Mint. Market performance. Since its discovery, the godless dollar has remained a strong performer in the collectibles market. Values fluctuate based on demand, but coins graded MS-65 or higher continue to sell for hundreds to over $1,000. It's one of the few modern mint errors that gained mainstream recognition, and it still turns heads at every coin show. And that's the story of the 2007 missing edge lettering dollar, a modern mistake that became a collector's legend. From public controversy to numismatic glory, this godless dollar proved that even new coins can hide golden secrets. Coin number 4. The 1968 No S Roosevelt dime, the proof coin that shouldn't exist. Today's story begins in 1968, a year of big change for the U.S. Mint. It was the first year proof coin production moved from Philadelphia to the San Francisco Mint. Every proof coin from that point forward was supposed to have an S mint mark, showing it was struck in San Francisco. But a few proof dimes somehow left the mint without that S mark. No one noticed until collectors started opening their proof sets and realized something shocking. Their coins were missing a mint mark that was never supposed to be missing. That simple mistake created one of the rarest and most valuable proof errors in modern American coinage, the 1968 No S Roosevelt dime. Let's uncover how this incredible error happened and why one dime could be worth thousands today. The Roosevelt dime legacy. To understand why this error is so special, let's rewind. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946, honoring the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the man who led America through the Great Depression and World War II. Designed by John R. Sinnock, the dime featured Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse and a torch, olive branch and oak branch on the reverse. Symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. For over 2 decades, this design remained unchanged. But in 1968, the Mint made a major decision. Proof coin production, those high-quality collector coins with mirror-like finishes, would no longer be made in Philadelphia. Instead, the San Francisco Mint would take over, and every proof coin from then on would carry the S mint mark to show its origin. That's why the 1968 No S dime shouldn't even exist. How the error happened. So how does a coin made in San Francisco lose its mint mark? The S mark was not part of the main coin design. It was added manually onto the die before minting began. If the engraver forgot to punch the S into the die, all coins struck with that die would be missing the mint mark. That's exactly what happened. 1 or 2 proof dies accidentally skipped the mint mark punching process. Those dies were used briefly, before the mistake was noticed, creating a small batch of 1968 proof dimes without an S. Because proof coins were sold in sealed proof sets, these error dimes only came to light when collectors opened their sets at home and spotted the missing letter. To this day, no one knows exactly how many were made, but experts estimate less than 20 known examples exist. That extreme rarity makes this dime one of the holy grails of modern U.S. coin collecting. First discovery. The shock of 1968. The first No S proof dime discovery came later in 1968, when collectors started inspecting their proof sets more closely. At first, the coin community thought it might be a fake. After all, proof coins without mint marks weren't supposed to exist after 1964. But under magnification, experts confirmed it. The coin had the mirror finish and sharp strike only proof coins possessed. Yet the S mint mark was completely missing. The U.S. Mint later admitted it was an accidental omission. But by then, those few coins were already in private hands, and their value began to skyrocket. Design features. Let's take a closer look at what makes this coin stand out. Obverse, front. Portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left. The inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1968. No S mint mark below the date. That's the key identifying feature. Reverse back. Torch in the center with an olive branch on the left and an oak branch on the right. United States of America and 1 dime inscribed around the rim. The absence of that tiny S mint mark turns this otherwise ordinary dime into a coin worth thousands. Current market value. So how much can this little dime be worth today? Here's what collectors are paying. Condition. Estimated value. Proof PR60, PR63, 10,000, 14,000. Choice proof PR64, PR66, $15,000, $22,000. Gem proof PR67, PR68, $25,000, 35,000 plus. Record auction PR68, over 40,000. In 2015, one of the finest examples, graded PR68 by PCGS, sold for nearly 42,000 at auction. Think about that. $40,000 for a 10-cent coin. That's the magic of rarity and collector demand. Why it's so valuable. The 1968 No-S dime's value comes from three key factors. Proof-only error. It wasn't a circulation coin. It came from a proof set meant for collectors only. Extremely low mintage. Fewer than 24 examples are confirmed today. First of its kind. It was the first No-S proof error ever discovered, setting off a trend that continued in later years, including 1970, 1971, 1975, and 1983. That historical significance and ultra-low survival rate make it a must-have for serious numismatists. Comparison with later No-S proof coins. Interestingly, the 1968 error was just the beginning. The U.S. Mint made similar mistakes in later years. First in 70 No-S dime, 71 No-S nickel, Luna Sena 35 No-S dime, 33 No-S dime. Each of these has become a valuable collector piece. But the 1968 No-S dime holds the crown for being the first and rarest of them all. Collectors consider it the cornerstone of all No-S proof coin errors. How to identify a real one? Because of its value, many fake No-S dimes exist. So here's how to spot the real thing. Proof quality. Genuine No-S dimes are mirror-like with sharp, frosted details and not dull or grainy. No mint mark. Look below the date on the front. If there's no S, that's your red flag. Packaging. Original proof sets from 1968 have 5 coins sealed in plastic. If you find a No-S dime in one, it's almost guaranteed authentic. Certification. Always send potential fines to PCGS, NGC, or Annex for grading. Authentication adds both credibility and value. Collector tip. Many collectors still search unopened 1968 S proof sets bought decades ago. The odds are tiny, but it's possible that a few undiscovered No-S dimes remain sealed away in forgotten boxes or safes. That's why coin hunters keep looking, because even a 10C coin could change your life overnight. Historical significance. The 1968 No-S dime isn't just a mint error, it's a piece of history. It marks the start of a new proof era, the relocation of minting operations, and the challenges of transitioning to new systems. It's a reminder that even in precision environments like the U.S. Mint, human oversight can turn into legendary collectibles. The 1968 No-S Roosevelt dime represents everything collectors love about coins: mystery, rarity, and the thrill of discovery. It's proof, literally, that small mistakes can lead to huge rewards. From a missing mint mark to a $40,000 price tag, this dime continues to capture the imagination of collectors around the world. And that's another chapter in the fascinating world of coin collecting. Coin number 5. The Westward Journey Nickels, America's hidden tribute to exploration. Now imagine this. A nickel that tells the story of adventure, discovery, and courage. A 5-cent piece that doesn't just represent money, but the spirit of America itself. Between 2004 and 2005, the U.S. Mint released something extraordinary, a short-lived series of nickels that broke tradition for the first time in 65 years. They were called the Westward Journey Nickels, and today, these coins have become modern collectibles worth far more than their face value. But behind those shining surfaces lies a forgotten story of how these coins honored explorers, captured a nation's pride, and quietly became a hidden treasure in modern coinage. Setting the stage, America's journey west. The story begins 200 years earlier. In 1803, the United States made one of its most ambitious moves, the Louisiana Purchase, doubling the size of the young nation. To explore these new lands, President Thomas Jefferson commissioned Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, 2 explorers, whose journey would become legend. Their expedition, known as the Corps of Discovery, charted rivers, crossed mountains, and met Native American tribes, all while mapping a route to the Pacific Ocean. 2 centuries later, in 2004, the U.S. Mint decided to commemorate that incredible adventure, and they chose one of America's oldest coins to tell the story, the Jefferson nickel. Breaking tradition. Since 1938, the Jefferson nickel had looked the same. Jefferson's profile on the front, and his home Monticello on the back. But in 2004, for the first time in decades, the Mint dared to change it. They launched a 2-year commemorative series called the Westward Journey Nickels, celebrating the 200th anniversary of Lewis and Clark's expedition. Ordiners Quarter Mule 6. These coins were more than just currency. They were a moving timeline, each design marking a chapter in America's great westward story. The 2004 nickels are the beginning of the journey. 1. The Peace Medal Nickel, 2004. The first release in the series was the Peace Medal design. Inspired by the actual medals Jefferson gave to Native American chiefs during Lewis and Clark's expedition. On the back, it shows 2 hands clasped in friendship, one representing the U.S. government, the other a Native American chief. Above them are crossed peace pipes and the inscription, Louisiana Purchase. It's a powerful image symbolizing trust and diplomacy at the dawn of America's westward expansion. The Keelboat Nickel, 2004. The second 2004 design honors the explorers' mode of travel, a large keelboat, the vessel that carried them up the Missouri River. The image captures motion and bravery, sails full, oars in the water, men pushing forward against the current. It represents the determination that defined the Lewis and Clark expedition. Together, these two 2004 nickels mark the beginning of the journey, peace and exploration. The 2005 nickels, discovery and freedom. 3. The American Bison Nickel, 2005. The first 2005 release, perhaps the most famous, features the majestic American bison. It's a tribute to the wildlife encountered by the explorers and symbolizes the strength of the new frontier. Collectors love this design for its simplicity and symbolism. It echoes the old Buffalo Nickel of 1913-1938, connecting America's past to its present. But there's more. Some 2005 bison nickels contain a dramatic minting error known as the speared bison. A die crack runs through the bison's body, looking like a spear, and that small flaw turned an ordinary nickel into a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The Ocean in View Nickel, 2005. The final design of the series shows a breathtaking scene, waves rolling toward shore, with the inscription Ocean in View. Oh, the joy! Those were the actual words from William Clark's journal, written when the explorers finally reached the Pacific Ocean. After 2 years of hardship, it's a design full of emotion, symbolizing the end of a long, uncertain journey and the beginning of a nation's expansion. The 2005 obverse change, Jefferson reimagined. Alongside the new reverse designs, 2005 also brought a new portrait of Jefferson on the obverse. Instead of the usual side profile, this design, called the Jefferson 1800 portrait, shows him facing forward, eyes alive with vision. It was based on an authentic portrait from 1800, capturing Jefferson not as a politician, but as a dreamer and thinker. This bold redesign bridged the gap between old and new, between the founding ideals and the modern mint, current value and collectability. Though the Westward Journey nickels are modern, certain varieties and errors have achieved serious collector value. Approximate value, uncirculated. Type Bakchai variety. 2004 Peace Medal Nickel, 2 5 bar. 2004 Keelboat Nickel, 2 5 bar. 2005 Bison Nickel, $5.50. 2005 Speared Bison Error, $200 1,500 +. 2005 Ocean in View Nickel, 3 Tendo. Full-proof sets or mint rolls sealed from 2004-2005. Can also bring $30–100, depending on condition and certification. What makes them appealing is not just their value, but the story they tell. A limited series that beautifully connected design, history and exploration, symbolism and legacy. Each coin in this series represents more than metal. It represents moments of courage and discovery. The Peace Medal, friendship and diplomacy. The Keelboat, exploration and teamwork. The Bison, nature and endurance. The Ocean in View, triumph and completion. In just 2 short years, the U.S. Mint managed to turn an ordinary 5-cent coin into a storytelling canvas, a tribute to the boldness that shaped America. Hidden treasures for modern collectors. Today, many people overlook these nickels because they're too new. But seasoned collectors know that's what makes them exciting. They bridge the gap between classic design and modern minting technology. And with rare errors like the speared bison, they've already made history. If you ever find these coins in pocket change, especially 2005 nickels, look closely. Because the next time you hold one, you're holding a piece of America's westward dream. Fun fact: did you know? The Westward Journey series directly inspired the Jefferson nickel, redesigned in 2006, the one still used today. Without this short-lived series, modern nickels might never have evolved into their current look. So these coins didn't just commemorate history, they changed it. From the piece metal to the ocean in view, the Westward Journey nickels capture the very essence of America: adventure, courage, and endless curiosity. 2 centuries after Lewis and Clark's journey, their legacy still shines, not in books or monuments, but in the jingling of nickels that quietly tell their story. So next time you find one of these in your pocket, take a moment. You're not just holding 5 cents, you're holding history. And that's it, collectors. 5 incredible stories. 5 legendary treasures that prove one thing: even the smallest coin can carry the weight of history. From the 1974 aluminum cent, a coin that was never supposed to exist, to the mysterious 2000p Sacagawea Mule, where 2 different coins collided into one. Then the 2007 missing edge lettering dollar, a minting mistake that made headlines. The 1968 No S Roosevelt dime, a silent error hiding in proof sets. And finally, the 2004-2005 Westward Journey nickels, a short-lived tribute to the courage of America's explorers. Each of these coins tells a unique chapter of our nation's story: mistakes, experiments, and masterpieces that turned metal into meaning. What's amazing is that some of these treasures are still out there, waiting to be found in collections, rolls, or even pocket change. So the next time you hold a coin, don't just see its value. Listen to its story, because behind every coin is a secret. And at OldCoin Secrets, we love uncovering them. If you enjoyed this journey through America's rarest and most fascinating coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the next hidden treasure. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your coins safe, and your curiosity alive. Because in the world of old coins, every penny has a past,